And all the time?
And that's his nature.
Amen. And are you ready and willing?
Yes.
I hope so. It's a question. Michael likes to finish with a question. I've started with a question. I found my notes. That's okay. Last time I didn't have my notes, but that's okay. Well, good morning, everybody. I trust you're all well and I've had a blessed week. I've had a good week, up and down, but it's been good. Praise God. What an amazing time we've just had. And I don't want to leave it. I want to move it on. I don't want to just, okay, that's it. No, we're going to continue with that. And he died for the Jew and the Gentile. He healed the Jew and the Gentile. Okay, not just those who were following him, but all who came to him were healed. All. Okay, so you've got members of your family who aren't born again. Pray for them. Jesus will heal them just as quick as he'll heal you. So I'm going to tell you a little story to start off with. Okay, some of you may have heard of a chap called Bert Munro. You may not have. He's from New Zealand, born in 1899. And he became a motorbike fanatic, and he had a dream. He had a vision. He wanted to be the world's fastest on an Indian. Now, the Indian was a motorbike, okay? Not a cowboy's Indian, but it was a motorbike. On under 1,000 cc. That was his dream. That was his vision. And Bert was a bit of a character, and there's a fantastic film about him. I sat and watched it last week with Will and that, and we were having a bit of a laugh and a joke. And yeah, he really wanted to be the fastest person on an Indian motorbike. Now, the maximum speed this bike was built to go was 55 miles per hour. Okay? So you've got to tweak it up a little bit. And he didn't have a computer where he could zap it in these days. No. It was all building it up and rechanging the pistons and all that. And during the film, the start of the film, he shows you he's talking to this young lad, and he lived in his garage. That was his house. That's where he slept, that's where he ate, everything in his garage. And then it was just the garden all around him, and the grass was like mine a few months ago. It was up here. And the neighbours like, oh, you're bringing the state down. Look, the whole place looks a mess. But he didn't care. His dream was to get that fastest speed. But to do it, he had to go to America, to Bonneville, where there's Salt Lake place, Saltburn Dry. Well, the adventure starts. But on one of the clips at the beginning, he's talking to the young lad, and he changes the carburetor. Not the carburetor, the pistons. But it shows you this shelf full of hundreds and hundreds of homemade pistons. Because he didn't make one for this bike. This is a bike that's like 55 mile an hour. He wants to go a lot faster than this. So eventually, obviously, he gets there. But, as I said, he was born in 1899. And on August 26, 1967, at the age of 68, approximately, he did it. He owns, the record still stands to this day. It's never been broken for under 1,000 cc. The bike was registered at 184 mile per hour, was the official speed. The unofficial speed for the flat 1 mile was 205. And this guy, 68 now, he pulls up to the Salt Lakes, and it's once a year they have this big land speed. Everybody can do it, so long as you meet the criteria. Well, they said to him, where's your brakes? He said, I don't intend to stop. He said, well, you need a parachute. Why? Well, where's your helmet? Well, I've only got this. They had full face helmet. He only had this little thing and a pair of goggles. Where's your safety suit? He had only trousers, black trousers, and the exhaust was burning his leg. So he went to an electric blanket that was on his bed. He cut it and wrapped the part around his leg so that it wouldn't burn his leg. But it turned out he couldn't get his leg into this motorbike, and I took it off and burnt his leg off. But what I'm trying to get to is, for over 20 years, because after the war, this is when this vision started to come to life, he had that vision. He never let it go. He worked day and night, upset his neighbours at 3 o'clock in the morning, revving this motorbike up to get his dream fulfilled. How far are you prepared to go to fulfill your dream? Do you have a dream? The word vision occurs 87 times in the Old Testament and only 8 times in the New Testament. In Daniel alone, it's 32 times just in Daniel alone. Dreams are used in many different ways. And we have it in Numbers, where Aaron's being told off by God. We have it in 2 Samuel, where Nathan is given a vision for King David. We have it in Daniel, where the vision of a messenger. Joel 2, verse 28. Now, this might work. Okay, maybe I should switch it on. Today would be nice. Okay. It worked earlier. Michael and I thought, oh, here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go. I will pour out my spirit upon all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. And your young men will see visions. That's in the Old Testament. We'll come back to it in a minute. In Habakkuk, the vision about the future. Acts 2. Now jump to the New Testament. Acts 2, verse 17. In the last days, God says, I will pour out my spirit upon all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. And your old men will dream dreams. And it goes on to say your servants and all the rest of it. If it's that important, it was mentioned in the Old Testament. It's mentioned again in the New Testament, which is what we live under today, the New Covenant. In Acts also 26, 19, Acts 26 verse 19 says, it talks about obeying your vision. I'll switch this on. How do I switch it off? Okay. Hang on. That's it. I'm out of here. That wasn't meant to happen, Alex. That's yours. Oh well. Here, give up that Michael. Michael knows what he's doing with it. Well, God's got a good sense of humor. He's got me up here. Yes. So, a question to us now. What's your vision? What is your individual vision? Now, you might not have one. So, ask God for one. What's your passion? When you wake up in the morning, what is it in the church or in the Christian world you want to do? You think, oh, I can't do that, it's impossible. We've just sang, nothing is impossible for God. What do you want to do? Do you want to do children's work? And you're not sure. Go work with the children. Give it 6 weeks, 2 months. And if it works out, praise God. Do you want to do street work? Talk to Chris Anthony. Go on the streets, pray for people. You might not have a full heart for it, but you think, oh, well, I wouldn't mind doing that. Do it. It could be your calling. It could be God knocking on the door. Saying, hello, wake up, I'm here. You wanted to do this, now let's do it. Do you want to be worship, music? Do you want to be involved in that side of it? Is that your passion? Certainly one of my passions. There's no question about that. And quite a few others as well. Is that what you want to do? When you wake up in the mornings, do you want to fulfill your dream? I still have a dream of going full-time music again. I said I never would. God might have a different plan. There's no question about that. God changes things things can't change, different doors can't open. But are you prepared to walk through and give it a go? It might not happen, but I want to give it a go, Lord. I might not be a Sunday school teacher, but I love the kids. I love working with the youth and teenagers. Work with the youth. Do you want to work in the CAF? I'm sure they would love to get you involved in that. Come and do it. Give it a go. You have nothing to lose. And if you don't have a vision, and that sometimes can happen, so don't be ashamed of it, get behind somebody who has and support them. Get behind someone who says, I'm not sure what I want to do, but I like what you're doing with the kids. How can I help you? I'm not sure what my calling is, Lord, but show me where I can go and help. The cafe, or the tea and coffees on the Sunday, the cafe, anything where it involves the church, a home group. You might not think, I can't run a home group. Go to a home group where somebody's running one and say, look, I'm not sure, I'd like to see if I can do this. And work with them. Be part of it. If you're not part of it, you'll be part of anything. Wherever your vision is, or wherever it is you want to serve. So, praying for the sick, well, why not? We've just sung about it. We believe in it. I certainly do. And nobody can force you to do any of this. It's your heart. It's your passion. What is your heart's desire? And ask yourself a question. And I have questioned myself on many occasions, and I encourage us all to do the same thing. Lord, am I actually doing the right thing? Have you got another plan for me? I was praying even this morning, Lord, here I am, wholly available. Where do you want me to go? What do you want me to do? And that's what we should all be praying. Because things do change. God can say, you know what, you've got strength in that. It's grown over the years, but it's coming. I want to put you into that position. Why not? The disciples weren't just fishermen. They may have went back to it at the stage in between when they were waiting for Jesus to come back to them. But they weren't just fishermen. They were men who spoke the word. Men who went preaching throughout the land. Are you prepared to do it? Are you ready and willing to go to wherever God sends you? Now, it might not be here. It could be somewhere else. You might think, I fancy going to Cambodia, the Dot. Missions trips. Sort of missions trips. And it could be, you might have a burden on your heart to go somewhere else. It can be anywhere. It could be in England. It could be Scotland. It could be Staffordshire, Lichfield. It's always harder to do it in your hometown. Because even Jesus was rejected at his hometown. It is. But if you're going to somewhere else, it can make it easier. And it's a great experience to do that sort of thing. Because Jesus loves each and every one of us. And he wants the best for each and every one of us. He does. So, are you prepared? Are you ready and willing? I was thinking about what to call today's message. And I was coming down the stairs last night. I said, Lord, I haven't got a title. And he just said, are you ready and willing? Are you ready and willing? I thought, that'll do. That sounds pretty good to me. What do you think, Tully? He didn't argue. The dog was fine. He couldn't move much. He was exhausted from yesterday. But, if you ask God for something, he will put you in the right place at the right time to do what you've got to do. How many times do we have to be asked, are we ready and willing? We hear a lot. This year is going to be a different year for each and every one of us. It is. I have the privilege of going away in 2 weeks' time to the States to work with Emotion Ministries and do stuff over there for a couple of weeks. Then there's a team coming here in April, missions team coming here in April, and they want to do street work. They want to get involved in the home groups in the church because they had it's part of their criteria, but they also have a dream, a vision for it. Are we prepared to do that? Work alongside them. Help them out. Help them. Help somebody else with their dream. Because Jesus gave his for you. And he will give you what you ask. If your heart's desire. Now, sometimes what we want, I want a Ferrari. No. Let's just get things in perspective here. Well, he might give you a Ferrari. I don't know. None of us know. But he gave you his son that you could have everything you want through his son. Healing, set free, joy, fun. I don't believe God's a boring God. He can't be. He made each one of us individual, unique. And the reason we're in the rugby shirt, Ireland's giving out free lessons next week to England in the rugby training. So, and in Ireland as well. So, but it's unique. We're all unique. Each and every one of us. And you might not think it. You might be sat there thinking, what can I do? What can I do? You can do more than you think. I never thought I'd ever be speaking up. When, after I left the army, why would I want to be a minister? Why would I want to minister on the stage? Doing a radio station, doing a radio show. Yeah, okay. But, God puts on your heart and the door opens and, okay, I'll give it a go. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, God will close it and bring somebody else better in. But at least you've given it a go. It's like sitting in a new car, wanting to drive it, but too scared to turn this ignition on to give it a go. Or a mixed case of super-powered wheelchair thing. So are you ready and willing this morning? Are you ready and willing? So when you wake up tomorrow morning, what do you think your vision will be? What do you think your heart's desire will be tomorrow morning? Because this isn't just for a Sunday, it's for every day. It's for absolutely every day of your life. It'll change your life. Absolutely change it for the better. So what do you think tomorrow morning? Go home tonight before you go to bed, even throughout the day, say, Lord, I don't know, just lay on my heart, Lord, something that will glorify him and encourage you. Because that's what he wants. He will encourage you. He won't give you something you're not capable of doing. He won't do that. He will help you every step of the way. Every step. We might not always see it, but it's there. And the people around you, encourage others. And it's hard sometimes to accept help from others. But you know what? We're brothers and sisters in the Lord. And we should care for each other. And I know we do. I know only too well. So the message this morning is a short one, I agree. But that's okay. That's not a short message. That isn't. But it was about, are you ready and willing? It's a question to ask yourself. God is good all the time. And he will make sure he looks after you. But are you ready and willing to do what he wants you to do? And if you're not sure, ask him. And if you're still not sure, get behind somebody who has a vision and support them. How can I help? Michael, how can I help? What can I do to help you this week? What's your vision for the church? What way is the church going? How can I help in the church? Next week they're presenting now I didn't realize next week they were presenting the church's vision. I truly had no idea about it. And so, last week we had the older one speaking on forgiveness and getting back. Challenge now. What did he speak on last week? Redemption, not redemption. Was it redemption? Reconciliation. Thank you, Sam. I've slept since then. Reconciliation. So we've had that. We're hearing about a vision. And next week we're hearing the church's vision. The church's vision. Now it may not be your vision. But it doesn't mean to say you can't get behind it and support it. Something worth thinking about. Praying about, certainly over these next 5 or 6 days. And see what God lays on your heart. God may, over this next week, may give you something amazing. But you've got to ask him. He says, ask, and it shall be given unto you. Seek, and you shall find. doesn't say think about it. It says ask. So you've got to put voice to it. When we're praying for people, put voice to it. Speak the word. Don't think the word, speak the word. Believe what you speak. You know. So I just want to encourage you this morning. It is a word of encouragement. And are you ready and willing? It's like one of those records that's stuck. Are you ready and willing? What's a question we have to ask ourselves? Lord, am I ready and willing? Yes, here I am, wholly available. Send me. Can that be your answer today? No matter where it is or what it is. I trust that it is. It is. And the worship this morning, great job, guys. Great. Really, really good. Really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. So, have a blessed week. You can play your Looney Tunes now. That's all, folks. I know it's a short message today, but you know what? Every message doesn't have to be 30, 40 minutes long. I just believe that's the right content that God wanted me to share. It all came, sat with Will watching a video, a DVD of Burt Munro. He never gave up on his vision. He died in 1973, so he did. He was 68 years of age when he fulfilled his dream. There's hope for me yet. Got another 8 years to get past that yet. And Will's only got 2, he's all right. But don't give up on your dream. If you have a dream, don't give up on it. Seek God to fulfill it. Because sometimes we get told, well, you know, you're getting a bit over the hill now. You know, no, rubbish. Moses wasn't over the hill. He may have come over a hill, but he wasn't over it. So just pray that this week for yourselves, that God will minister into each one of your lives and show you a path to go down. And we come next Sunday with excitement to hear what Michael and the team have got for the vision for the church for the next 12 months and see where we're going. Thank you this morning. God bless. Have a great week. Amen.
I just feel I've got to share this. I would have brought it earlier, but there wasn't room for it. And it's to do with Christ when he was in the garden. He took his disciples with him, okay? And I'm going to read the passage to you because I think the word for today is wake up. That's what I feel God's saying to each of us. Wake up. Because you can walk around, sleepwalk, and not be aware of the times you're walking. And this passage kind of explains itself. He went out and made his way as usual to the Mount of Olives, and the disciples followed him. When he reached the place, he told them, "Pray that you may not enter into temptation." Then he withdrew from them about a stone's throw, knelt down, and began to pray. "Father, if you're willing, take this cup away from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done." Then an angel from heaven appeared to him, strengthening him. Being in anguish, he prayed more fervently, and his sweat became drops of blood falling to the ground. When he got up from prayer and came to the disciples, he found them sleeping. "Why are you sleeping?" he asked them. "Get up and pray, so that you won't enter into temptation." If you and I are not alert to the things of God, we're going to be tempted to go away from God. And it wasn't long after that, Peter denied his Lord, okay? And I'm just bringing it as a warning to us this morning. Be aware of the times that you're walking. What is God is expecting of you and of me at this time in our lives? You've heard about vision this morning. You've heard different things coming through. But I believe the word is wake up. Because if you don't wake up and are alert to the things of God, you and I are going to go away from God. And let's be honest, it's very possible. It's very possible to go away from God at the crucial time he needs us the most. Okay? Now those disciples, they all walked with God throughout his life. throughout his ministry. And at the crucial hour when he was facing death, going to the cross to die for you and for me, he was deserted by his own. And you and I are capable of doing the very same thing, of sleeping when we should be alert to what God is saying.